What's up? So here's some answers to the Q&A. So as I'm sorting through the footage of all these 55 or so or 60 questions I answered, it seems the first chunk of questions is nowhere to be found. So I'm very sorry about that. Catch me next time, but I think the 20 or plus minutes of me answering questions is going to be enough for this week. So hit me next week and we'll do another. It's actually nice outside here in this. We're having a little bit of fall earlier than ever expected, so sit outside and enjoy it on Thursday afternoon, answer some questions. That's the ticket. So, see where I picked up. On a scale of 1 to 10, beer. That was from Powerful Rhino for the third question he asked. Alright. Marguero, 91. How do you stop rounding your back during heavy deadlifts, and how do you get your deadlift up? Personally, I still round my back during deadlifts, but I don't round my back in the middle of the deadlift. So I start with a rounded position and it stays that way the whole lift. And this seems to be less of an issue than, or it's not as risky as guys who are going to round in the middle of their lift. So, I mean, figure out how to get set into a position that you're not going to move from, and then from there, you know, just continue working and trying to be better. How did I get my deadlift up? Lots and lots of deadlifts. For me, more than any other lift, deadlifts really reacted well to doing a lot of volume. So try some different stuff, man. Do some really high volume, heavy accessory work for your deadlifts. Do it from a deficit. Do some snatch grip. Snatch grip would be a great way to keep you from rounding your back. Build your upper back strength. Do some single arm rows. Oh, Sean. Favorite accessory exercise? I don't really have a favorite accessory. I do whatever my weakness is at that point, or whatever needs to be brought up. Probably the one I do the most are good mornings. I do with a barbell or 135 pounds. Nothing crazy. It just works. I don't change it. I also like box jumps. Jeez, man. Eric Sullins. Top 3 most important accessory movements for collegiate throwers. Accessories ain't gonna make or break you guys. However, I would say a box jump would be a great accessory movement. Some type of a row, upper back strength, and probably pull-ups. Those are probably the 3 most important I can think of. You know, box jumps are going to have to be an explosive movement. Pull-ups, you're manipulating your own body weight, so pretty great exercise for basically anyone, thrower or not. And a row to build your upper back strength. I mean, you're going to have to counter weights, whether it's the hammer or the discus. Find some positions. Yoke-like Uskull. One lift sequence of movement for the rest of your life, what would it be? Probably snatch or something like that. I actually enjoy that the most, and I kind of get everything else done. Maybe a clean and jerk, since that would basically accomplish everything I want to. I would probably do that. I really like squatting though, so it's not really a great answer for you, but let's say clean and jerk. Clean and jerk's the one thing I would probably do forever, and variations of that. Mean Gene. What are your favorite must-have things in your gym bag? If I had one, yeah, I do mostly train at home, so it's not really so much an issue. Good belt. I think a good belt's something that you just really can't not have. Find a good leather belt, spend some time breaking it in, and use it. And breaking in is just wear it a lot. Get used to using it. Find a belt that works for you. That's probably the one thing I don't travel without. Other than that, shoes. But I'm a gear whore, and so I carry a ton of stuff with me no matter where I'm going. So that's that. Lift more, live more. Being a thrower, I'm sure you've developed some muscular imbalances over the years. What are some of the exercises I do to regularly prevent these imbalances? I don't do any unilateral lifting. That's one thing, I guess. I really don't do any single leg or turning one way instead of the other. All my throws go that way, but the weights are so light that I'm sure I've got some imbalances. I'm sure I've got some flexibility issues one way or the other. I do mobility work. Outside of that, I really don't address them as such. I've never really cared enough about it to try to fix anything. It never really was a problem. So, JC Findlay, my favorite whiskey. More often than not, I'll probably order Blanton's. That's probably my favorite. Powerful Rhino again. How often do I throw different weighted implements off season? I very, very rarely ever throw the 56 pound. I throw a 49, I throw a 28, I throw a 20-pound hammer. I don't ever throw heavy implements, but I throw lighter ones. Since we already throw a heavier version, and they're plenty heavy, I don't ever throw any heavier than the heavy version of that implement. But I do throw a lot of lightweight implements to move a little faster. Plus, a little less abuse. I get some more reps in, and it doesn't feel crazy. It's not like I'm going out there throwing a 5-pound shot or anything. So I throw 15-pound stones. I'll throw maybe a little heavy stone every now and then. 17. I don't know. Really never weighed them. I throw a 20-pound hammer and I throw a 14-pound hammer. And that's pretty much the lightweight stuff. In the 49-pound weight for distance, I throw the majority of my heavyweight work. How do you like your eggs, fried or fertilized? Just raw. Just really, really like them raw. Like if I could just put a bunch of them in a cup like fucking Rocky and hammer them back, that's usually the way I like to go. Jeff Milron, Mr. Milleron. He's an up-and-coming games athlete. Ooh, coming. I get it. Soon to be pro weight / discus thrower and a full-time track coach at Princeton. He's noticed in the short years of being an athlete, 5 of them, that there are already tons of haters hating on him, and he loves it. How can he get any more? I don't know. I never really understand that whole deal. I feel like I've gotten at least a couple people who give a shit about the things I have to say, but I really don't get a lot of negative feedback via Instagram or Facebook or YouTube for that matter. So I don't know. Maybe you're just a dick. S. Williams 2506. And so I mean, if you want to get more of that, just I don't know, keep being a dick. Do that. Keep being someone most people don't want to spend their spare time with and hang out with. I think that could probably keep having people dislike you. S. Williams 2506. Just recently decided to start throwing. I usually compete in strongman events. Any advice for a 40-plus-year-old newbie to the game? Start slow. Train smart. Don't get hurt. Getting hurt at 40-plus is crazy, and the setbacks will take forever. Start slow. Train smart. And just keep working at it. It's going to be a long process. So outside of that, have fun. I mean, you're not going to set the world on fire, chances are, as a 40-plus-year-old coming into the game, so enjoy it. Make sure you're doing that. It's a great sport. It's a great community. Really get to enjoy it. That's what I'd recommend. Tall guy, 341. Where do I get my tattoo work done? Man, all over the place. I've gotten a lot of work done in various places around the country. So currently in Hesperia, California with Nico Gerardo is where I am getting this portrait sleeve done, as I have time to actually get to California and get tattooed. Outside of that, this is a hodgepodge of a lot of folks, and I don't know, man, it's fun to just stop in and get a banger every now and then. J Mooney 90, will you be at the Olympia? Probably not. Also, thoughts on wrist wraps and knee sleeves for someone who's never used them. I think you should use them. Injuries or not, I think you should stay uninjured, and I think some support, especially knee sleeves or wrist wraps, are huge. So, give them a go. You seem to be a healthy fellow wearing shorts in your picture, so find some knee sleeves, protect your legs. Thomas Huser. If you do event practice, strength work in the same, if I do event practice and strength work in the same day, which one do I do first, and which one do you do first when you are freshest? I'm always fresh, son. Outside of that, if I'm going to do both in the same day, I would prefer to throw first. That's the one that matters. All of the strength training is to make me a better thrower, so don't sacrifice the quality of my throws training to increase the weight room stuff. That simple. Off season, I'll probably lift more. Lifting becomes a priority, strength becomes a priority, throws are on the back burner, just enough to stay fresh on them. The freshest. Oh, yeah, what? How would I deal with broken bones if I got injured? I would take time off and I would let them heal. As far as training goes, I would do whatever I could do to not hinder my getting better. Take the time off, recover correctly the first time, do your rehab, and you'll be back quicker and better than you were. Outside of that, if you're frustrated because you can't train, find another goal. Concentrate on your diet, because even if you got a broken bone, you're still going to put things in your face. So pick good things and choose to eat correctly. That's what I would do. K-Nop. What's up, dude? Are most amateur games just show and throw, or do you need to qualify in some way? Scotland, they are definitely show and throw, as all the games are. However, in the States, for the amateurs, I would reach out, contact athletic directors, and see if you can get an invite, or at least let them know you're coming. There's usually enough classes, and if you're a very, very amateur, I would start novice and do your first game there. So that's what I would recommend. CS Arikiska Sierra Axka. I know I met you in Seattle. So cool. How do you structure your training during the off season? I.e., how often do you throw and lift? And if you are, how often do you incorporate Olympic lifts? I Olympic lift once a week. Basically all year during my high volume block, I treat them as very, very light and very an accessory movement. Outside of that, if you're really curious in my season training, check out Training Lab. The book, if you're looking to get into throws, that breaks down my entire year and what I think you should do as a thrower or strength athlete. Manny Bam Bam. Thought on glide versus spin for shot and open stone. It's going to vary, man. It depends on your size. I think there's people who are really successful in the glide. Lucas Winta, Sebastian Winta both throw the glide very well, but they're also national champion shot putters in Poland, and they're also 6'6" or taller. So they've got that going for them. Spin is the most effective way for me to throw far with the size and levers I'm dealing with. Glide is a consistent move that you don't have to train very often, but there are a lot of details to making it go right. The glide is not a simple movement by any stretch, but it is consistent for the amateur. Spinning, It's a lot finer details, but there's definitely bigger reward to learning it. Matt Marcosia. You know any stretches for the biceps? Yeah, this one. That's the only stretch I know for the bicep. Rhino again. Very popular. You have like 10% of the questions in this thing. How many throws do you get in on days you practice? That again varies during the season. I break that down in the book. But what I do is say, like right now into my season, I'm trying to throw at my best. I'm going to take no more than about 5 or 6 throws in the event after I'm warmed up. And my warm-up is really trying to treat it the same way I would at a game. Just a couple really easy throws and then 5 or so throws really attacking it and going for it, trying to up the intensity. So during the off season, I'll take as many as 25 throws in an event, working on technique, but the intensity drops to, under 90%. What's the warm-up for throwing? Same one for the gym, man. I do a general warm-up, get everything moving. And then after that, I'll address the couple issues I have that are specific. My elbow or something like that, or knee or ankle, or something's bothering me. I'll spend some time working on it. Coffin dragger. Why do I paint my toenails? Because it's good luck. Maybe you should try it. Sean Perley. What are the most effective lifts for gaining full body strength and power? Bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press, clean and snatch. That would be the most effective way to do those things, or those 6 lifts. For some sets of some reps, moderately heavy for a decade. That's what I would do, or that's what I do. Tai Jin. It's also what other competitive throwers do. Tai Jin. Best tip for lightweight athlete wanting to compete in the Highland Games. Also favorite barbecue joint menu item in the country. Alright. My tip would be find a group to practice with, find a game, compete, see if you like it. And if you do more of them. If you don't, figure out something else you're into. But make sure you like the competition before you start investing a lot of time and trying to learn how to do a bunch of stuff. Figure out if that's the environment you even want to be part of. Favorite barbecue joint menu in the country? It's probably that Wookiee that I had on that episode of Drift to Lift a couple back. Check that out. That's with Sornex, probably episode 2 or 3, I don't know, something like that, season 2. Just check it out. Check all of season 2 out. Do yourself a favor. But it's a Wookiee at, it's the Django Wookiee at Southern Belly Barbecue. Evan Earl, do you paint your toenails? Yes. What are the meanings of your tattoos? I'll give you another one. On my wrist, here, it's in script and it says "Till I Rot." It's for my wife. She has "Till I Die" on her rib cage, and it's part of a song that we danced to at our wedding. There you go. Azure Armor, do you know any good videos explaining Highland Games scoring? If not, could you make one? Scoring. So every event you've got 10 people, let's say. If you finish last, you're going to get 10 points. If you finish first, you get 1 point. At the end of 9 events, low score overall wins. Outside of that, I don't know. I hope that answered it for you. If you'd like to win every event. Pretty simple. Benji Mona. Dealing with a lot of knee pain lately, and I don't want to stop training though. A certain way you deal with joint tendon pain. I wear a Mark Bell slingshot cuff on my knees. I have tendonitis in both of them. They kind of ache, burn most of the time. But between that, I take some joint supplements, Suprasys from USP Labs, and glucosamine, stuff like that. Outside of that, listen to them, man. If they're a little worn down, take some time. Do some TIMS unit stuff. I mean, I'm getting old, so I kind of employ a little bit of everything to make sure the body stays moving. Ever thrown trained track and field model hammer? Yeah, I threw in college. I threw just that 60 meters. So, that's what's up. Do you find a chiropractor to be someone strength athlete to have on their team from Simaj lifts? Yeah, man. Chiropractor's hugely important. I keep, in my rotation, I have a massage therapist who does sports massage. I like to see a regular massage therapist just for typical bumps and bruises and flushing. I have an a fascial stretch therapist who does some joint manipulation work for me, and a chiropractor I see whenever I'm banged up. I try to see somebody of that group every week, and more as needed if I'm injured, but this season's actually been pretty good. But yeah, man, a team that keeps you together makes a big difference. Stephen Magnuson. Balancing lifting, athletics, nutrition with being an outside salesman is something I struggle with. Thoughts and tips? You just got to do it. It sucks. I'm an outside sales rep. My schedule is pretty comfortable. I train at home. I don't have to really deal with someone else making up my sales trips, my plans, when I'm going to go, when I'm going to be home. So you just make the most of it. It sucks. The nutrition part, man, that's just going to be willpower. You're going to have to eat better food than you typically want to. And it sucks a lot of time, but it's either that or become a big fatty. Athletics, just keep training, man. At the end of the day, it's not like you're stuck roofing fucking houses. You're sitting in a car. KFC lacrosse. Getting surgery soon. Can't train for a few weeks. How do I keep my gains? You don't. You don't really get to. So have surgery, do your rehab, do what you can afterwards. Be smart, keep eating correctly, and then come back stronger. That's what you get to do. KJ Dales. Does wearing a kilt automatically double your caber toss? Yeah, for sure. Should also pick one up. Those of you looking for a kilt, go to sportkilt.com. Use code HATE14 or 15. Call those guys. Tell them Matt Vince sent you. They'll give you a discount. Be awesome. Get a kilt. Look amazing. Rasmun Yemend. Non-related question. Do you think that vlogging and putting vids on YouTube have helped you in a way with communication, self-expression, etc.? Is it something you would suggest to people to start doing to develop better communication skills? Is good practice with expressing thoughts, meanings, and ideas? I'm definitely better at being on camera. I'm better at speaking since starting the Drift to Lifta series and doing more videos, for sure. But unless you've got something you really want to share, I don't see any reason to do it. I do it for a couple reasons. I do it because I enjoy sharing this information. That and most of the information I've got over the course of my career, I got for free, and I'd like to share with you. The other half of that is I'm selling some apparel. I've got some books to sell. I've got some information that is for sale, and it sure tends to be that the more information I give away, the more people are willing to actually want to support the stuff I'm doing. So, but doing it simply for developing better communication skills, I don't know, man. It wouldn't hurt. So, if there's something you're passionate about and you want to put some information out, I say go for it. Sean Culkin, 67. 2 questions here. If I could eat only one meal of food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Whoa. I don't know. Probably sushi. I could eat sushi. I really like sushi. I also like cheeseburgers. So if there's some type of crazy fucking world where I get cheeseburgers and sushi, I'd have that. Maybe Taco Bell too. Fuck it. I'll just eat Mexican food every meal. Somewhere in the middle. What do I recommend for a person who's looking to get into Highland games? How did I start off, and what type of training training do I recommend to a beginner of that sport? Okay. Getting into Highland Games, do some research online. It's pretty easy. Find a local game, find a local group, start training. Try to search for it on Facebook. See what you can find. There's some Highland Games groups and a lot of people in them, and they're very willing to share some information with you. How did I start off? Did some strongman, did some powerlifting, and found a Highland Games close to me. I knew it existed and decided to go out and give it a go. Had fun, kept doing it. So what sort of training am I doing? I'm doing the training from Matt Vincent's training lab. So check that out. And that's exactly what I would recommend you do to be a beginner or a professional. I don't think it makes any difference. Oh, Brett DW, collegiate thrower, and we're in a GPP phase right now. Any tips on nutrition during this phase? The goal is obvious to get in great shape, but also need to lower my body fat. So, as a fat guy, my nutrition has never been great. It's getting better, and I'm really going to make an attempt to really dial it in this off season. Follow a flexible dieting routine and work with a nutrition coach from Working Against Gravity. I've had a lot of success in the past working with Jesse Burdick, but I want to change. I want to learn some new stuff, and I want to see how it affects me. So I'm trying something different. Read some books. Check out Flexible Dieting 2.0 with Chrissy May. It's a lot of information. That would be a great start to try to figure out some things. And start tracking what you're eating. Start doing that and start trying to figure those things out. That way you can make some progress. Sir Bromancelot. Would you suck the long schlong for money if you needed it to travel and compete? No, I wouldn't. I have a job, and I don't really need money to travel and compete. I also found a sport that gives me money, so take that. You can have all the schlongs, bro. Tyler, time to train. Do you recommend wearing a specific type of shoe when throwing? Or would some all-purpose Nikes work? Of course, spikes for hammers, but for the rotational events, do you change up your footwear? I do. I throw in high jump spikes the vast majority of the time. They have a pattern on the bottom really similar to javelin boots. Uh-oh, we got a puppy party. Similar to javelin boots, except they're a low top and a little bit. They work great. I also throw with a soccer cleat on my left foot for most of the time I throw. All right, let's wrap up the last couple of these and get this thing up and loaded for you guys. Scotland Gym, 2 weeks before Pleasanton. What should a 60-plus thrower be doing now and then? Resting is what I would be doing. I'd make sure that you are as fresh and healthy as possible to compete the day of Pleasanton. I'm hoping, since your name is Scotland Gym and you have a picture of you throwing, that you've done quite a bit of that. If you haven't, now's too late. Jake, you son of a bitch. That Ray Durame. What lifts accessories should I do to become betterest at Highland Games competitions? Check those out in Training Lab. I do the same ones. I do good mornings, I do pull-ups, I do bent over rows, stuff like that. So I got them pretty detailed in there. Everybody's very concerned with accessory lifts. They're not as important as you think. Just kind of do wherever you're weak. If your hamstrings are a problem, do more hamstring work. If your quads are weak, do more quad work. Or if your hip flexors aren't strong, do something there. Accessories are kind of individualized. RDJ 1477, would I consider doing some tasteful but nude modeling? Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you're looking for that, I'd prefer you just send the checks over here and I'll get on it for you. Steven, nope. Hey Steven, name I can't spell. Andrikopoulos. What do I do to keep up your joint health? Do my mobility work. I use a Mark Pro. to keep blood flow. I don't do anything stupid in training that could hurt my joints other than my regular stuff. I wear cuffs from Mark Bell to help with tendonitis, and I take some fish oils, and I take some glucosamine, and I take USP Labs Supercissus is their joint formula, and those things seem to help. TJR Baronet, in and out or Five Guys? In and out, man, all the way. Doubles. Alan in the men's, huge fan of Strength Labs. Thanks, bud. Can I elaborate on the advice, don't eat like an asshole? How, in your opinion, does an asshole eat, especially your input? Well, you'd have to look at the butthole and think about how it would come in and actually bite stuff. But don't eat like an asshole is, I mean, you can't expect to properly fuel your body if you're going to be an athlete by fucking shoving cheeseburgers in it all the time, which I did today. It was delicious. But you can't do it all the time. You know, letting loose every once in a while is fine. Remember what you're competing for. I'm not competing to get on stage. I'm competing to throw things far so I can have some cheeseburgers every now and then. But don't eat like an asshole. I mean, don't overeat. Don't eat every meal until you're full. Don't eat pizza 5 times a week. Don't go out to eat all-you-can-eat buffets. Maybe have some fucking vegetables every now and then. Put some meat on a plate. Put some veggies on a plate. And eat those for a while. You know, quit sucking down sugars, as Derek Widener says. Widener. I don't know. I can't pronounce his name right now. I'd have to read it. But whatever that guy says, kind of right. So don't eat like an asshole. Just fucking eat some good stuff. Have some meats. Have some veggies. Don't be a piece of shit. There you go. How do you manage your training and travel with your job, and how many hours a week do I work? Papa Squat 69. It's a tricky question, bud. But honestly, it's tricky. So it varies week to week. Sometimes I'm going to spend an awful lot of time in my car. I may spend, 20 hours of the week in my car on the way to and from meetings. It works out to be about a normal week, just like anyone else's. I spend an awful lot of time sitting at a desk. So most of the work I'm doing, if I'm stuck at home or in my office, I can kind of move around. I try not to sit too much. Jason D's Nuts 2015. Thanks for everything, dog. Everything. Nice. I was wondering if you're thinking of if I have the potential to be a great thrower, discus and shot put. He's 15, he's 5'6", still growing, medium built, but throwing 100 and throwing 30 feet, and train every day. Weightlift and practice every day. Work on your grammar. I mean, I'm sure you're just rushing it, so that's cool. Want to be a state champion by senior year. How should I start lifting? I don't want to stunt my growth. You're 15, so that's not an issue. You probably got some plebs, and you can lift normal, man. So check out Training Lab. Do that. You want to do that for the next couple years, and find a coach that's going to help you throw those things. You're not going to be able to figure those out on your own. You're going to need some advice and some guidance. YouTube's a huge help, but someone who can actually sit there and see your throws is really what you need. Man, I have no idea if you're cut out to be a great shot put or discus thrower. You're a kid, so enjoy being a kid. Put in the work. Be good at it. But I mean, if you want to take a look at the Olympics right now, you're at least 10 to 15 years younger than anyone else out there. So you got a long time to work. You got 15 years. There's plenty of time to get as good as you want to be, or as good as you can be. But just because you work hard doesn't mean you're going to end up being a champion. It doesn't mean that. So take some pride and do it for you. Don't do it for the medals, and don't do it for the, whatever the title is. Do it because you're into self-improvement and you're into making yourself better. So, hope that answers, man. Darren Dewitt. For Highland Games, what drills can be done to increase the distance of throws, and what lifts can translate into gym when lifting? I really don't do a lot of drill work. I never really did. I don't remember doing a lot of drill work in college. Throw a lot. That's what I recommend. Go throw a lot. Get a lot of throws in. Chances are you're not a thrower, so get used to throwing things until they are efficient enough that the strength you have will actually apply to it. And what lifts can translate into the gym when lifting. I don't believe if you're throwing to become stronger in the gym, you're doing it backwards. Your gym lifts are going to become better. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but do your main lifts. Do the main powerlifting lifts. You got a sweet bicep pose in your picture, so we're probably doing some different stuff. But yeah, man, get stronger. Stronger is always better. No athlete ever sucked because they were too strong. So that's what I recommend. And do the things that make people strong, which are bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press, clean, and snatch. Till next time, stay awesome. Thanks for checking out the Q&A. I really, really appreciate all the questions. The only thing I can ask is check out the Drift to Lift series on YouTube. It is there for free. And check out some of my sponsors: USP Labs, Sorinex, Sport Kilt, Caveman Coffee, Mark Bell's Slingshot stuff. Check out Kelly Starrett's stuff with Mobility Wad, and anything Jesse Burdick is doing at Power Wad. Check out all those guys. Those guys are definitely part of the family, and they are awesome people. Outside of that, check out my stuff. Go to thehate.com, pick up some shirts, check out my books, and got some new hats coming. So, thanks a bunch, and enjoy.